Alrighty, good evening, Prepper peeps. Thank you for joining us tonight. We didn't have a topic, so we're just gonna go back and forth together about a lot of things. So we're gonna be doing some rabbit holing. So grab some coffee or your favorite beverage, get a snack, and get comfy. And we will see you in a minute. Alrighty. Well, welcome in everybody. Like I said, we didn't have a topic for tonight, so we just thought we'd kind of wing it here. We're just going to do some rabbit holing. Dave, you want to start first, or?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. What we're doing, like she said tonight, is just digging into a couple different things and seeing what is on our mind and see if it kind of coincides with what's on your mind. So, a couple of things I wanted to bring up is I've heard about, let me get this over here in front of me where I can read this. Aero Precision, which is a manufacturer of AR-15 receivers, parts, and things like that. Their partners.
Sorry.
I didn't know if that was me or.
It was me.
Okay.
I pulled it up on my tablet so I can look at the chat.
Gotcha.
Hey, Chuck.
So they're partners with Ballistic Advantage, Stag Arms, and VG6. They are operating under a receivership, which is a legal process where a neutral third party called a receiver is appointed to manage and protect assets of the company or property facing financial distress or legal disputes. So I don't know what the backstory is, but they said that they are trying to keep up with orders. I know that there's going to be some delays in some of these parts. So, that's upper receivers, lower receivers, barrels, Ballistic Advantages. One of the barrels that I really do like. They're very accurate, very good barrels, and Aero Precision is very good parts. So just think about that. And if you're looking into getting into building an AR or needing some extra parts,
Well, you better get them while you can, right?
yeah, Aero Precision, they're continuing to operate. But it's just one of those things may be harder to get or longer lead times. So just think about that. If you've got a local store that has some of those in stock now, they may not get some, soon after that inventory depletes. So wanted to just bring that up. I heard about that yesterday. So and if y'all are like me, we like to build our own, because I like to put my own stuff on there.
Well, anything worth doing is worth doing right.
Well, that's it exactly. And also too, I'm a big fan of building your own because you're able to actually find out how this thing operates instead of, ooh, give me that one on the wall, which is fine, but you do get a chance to learn a little bit more about how things work. So that's one of the things I wanted to bring up, and I brought up some of this stuff before in the past about, possible ammo shortages and some other things like that, that, you need to be doing those monthly or weekly. It's up to you, whatever your budget allows. ammo purchases, and again with that goes, parts. You know, so recently, and I'm talking about within the past 2 weeks, there was some talk about certain motor oil shortages. Whether that's true or not, kind of the talk has calmed down a little bit about that. But, I went out and bought some motor oil from Costco, actually.
Well, and they didn't have any more, and they said that they don't know when they're going to get any back.
Right.
Back in.
So that way I can change my own oil here at the house, but also too, I wanted to have some in reserve, and along with that lines is to have, some parts on hand for your vehicle. I also am a big fan of having parts for your freedom sticks. Your rifles, your handguns, all of that, you need to have spare parts around, There's nothing worse than sitting here thinking about a $1,500 rifle won't operate because of a 12-cent spring broke. I mean, that's just, that's a fact.
Well, that's like when we had to fix the freeze dryer. We went through all of these different parts, and it ended up being a 67-cent piece.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Doing the flash drives,
That
updates,
was aggravating.
totally disassembling it. Okay, so here's the thing. One thing to remember, that if you do plan on getting a freeze dryer, you are the maintenance crew. They will tell you what to do. They'll tell you how to do it.
Yeah, because they're where are they based out of?
Well, not here. I don't know where.
I think it's Utah, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not real sure. But if you have to have it fixed, I mean, sure, you can send it to them, but it's obviously going to cost you an astronomical amount to do that. So you're basically on your own to fix it with one of the representatives on the other end of the phone.
Yeah,
and that's how we had to do it. And it's aggravating, I'll be honest, but we did get it done.
Yeah, because there's no service centers.
No.
So just something to think about, that also.
We just rabbit holed, didn't we?
Well, that's what tonight is about, And yes, they are in Salt Lake, Utah.
Okay, I was right. Okay.
But have extra parts, also to learn how to do these things, in multiple shops. Preparedness Depot, one of my go-to places for all my parts and supplies and things like that. Wes is an awesome dude. Go check him out.
Doing shipping now with an online store?
Not sure yet.
Okay.
But go check his store out. But that's where I buy all my parts. They actually, can walk you through how to build your own. They do, some classes occasionally. They'll do, some cleaning. They do charge for that, in which I would too. But, learn how to do this stuff. It's very important to find out the inner workings of everything.
Yeah. Other things that you could do now, like I said, we didn't have a planned topic, so we're just going to go off in different directions. So, Chad says, continue to stock up on fuel and fuel stabilizers. Also, do your research and be aware of the Lone Star ticks and alpha gal syndrome they're carrying now, especially if you spend time outside. That's absolutely true. I saw a video.
I couldn't imagine not being able to eat meat.
Oh, I know. I saw a video of this farmer. I should have looked it up so I could put it in the description. I apologize. Now I don't know what's going on, but these farms are literally finding boxes, these little boxes about smaller than a shoebox, full of these ticks. It seems to me like somebody is placing them there.
That's one of those, get your tinfoil hat on, because it's...
Well, yeah. Because if you get bit by one of these Lone Star ticks, and Chad is correct, it causes the alpha-gal syndrome, which, in a nutshell, makes you allergic to red meat. Not only beef, but pork as well. And possibly mutton, like goat meat, stuff like that. So...
Well, it's very conspiracy theorish, but it is spooky all the same.
Well, how long does it take a conspiracy theory to come true, Dave?
6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, from theory to fact is usually about 6 months. I've seen videos, and I don't know if they're true or not, where they were, dropping these things out of planes.
Right. So what I would do is, because here at the Rabbit Hole, we are more natural remedies rather than using store-bought chemicals. Look up, because I don't have a recipe right in front of me, but you can look up, recipes for homemade bug spray for your body. I do have a recipe for bug spray for your garden, which I will get into here in a second. But look up homemade remedies for bug spray for your body for when you're spending time outside or going camping or hiking or anything like that, because the Lone Star tick thing is a real thing. And speaking of the bug spray, we're going to, let's see, where did I put it? We're going to rabbit hole here again. Oh, here it is. This is the recipe that I got, and I'm going to put up on the screen where I got it. It's 1 tablespoon of dish liquid, 1 whole red onion chopped up, 3 diced garlic cloves, 1 jalapeno chopped. Cover the ingredients with warm water, give it a stir, and let it sit for 12 hours. Strain the liquid into an empty spray bottle. Then add more water to the bottle to fill it. Give it a light shake to incorporate everything. Now you have a homemade bug spray for your garden. And that takes care of aphids, gnats, slugs, things like that in your garden. Let me pull that up for everybody. This guy is an absolute amazing guy. He does YouTube videos on pretty much DIY anything. Mostly he talks about gardening. So I'm going to pull that up now. This is his website. It's called creativeexplained.com. I have this in the description. I'm finally utilizing the description box correctly. Yeah, this is he's got several books out. Don't, like this one right here at the very beginning, Don't Throw It Out, Plant Hacks, Tips and Tricks. And that's only $27. That's not a bad deal. He's actually got 3 or 4 books. This one, okay, he's got a bundle here. Okay. One, Did You Know? And then the other one, let's not pull up the picture. Did You Know? Don't Throw It Out, and Don't Throw It Out 2. And, yeah. But you can get all of his books for $100, which is not a bad deal. Again, that, I have put also a link in the description for that. In case you don't write it down now, you can go back into the description and check it out. Very, very smart man. One of his recipes was, let's see, 4 cups of baking soda spread out on a baking sheet. Of course, spread it out over parchment paper. Bake it at 400 degrees for 1 hour. This heat is removing carbon dioxide and moisture. Once it's done baking, take it out and let it cool. Pour it into a container. You now have washing soda. Mix this with 4 cups of regular baking soda, 2 cups of Epsom salt, 1 cup of sea salt. Grate 1/2 of a bar of soap. Fels naphtha or the Zote is what I would recommend. The Fels naphtha smells amazing. Mix all these ingredients together. Now you have homemade laundry powder. 1 tablespoon per load. You can use a little more if you want. Roughly 5 to 10 cents per load of laundry. And you can't beat that. You cannot beat that. I've got his information in the description so that you can find out more about what he does and watch his videos. Another one, and I thought this was pretty ingenious, the peels of 1 orange, 3 cups of vinegar, let it sit for a week. Should be golden orange color. Then you add 1 cup of hair conditioner, 2 cups of warm water, mix it well, and now you have a homemade fabric softener, which I thought that was pretty cool. I'm going to write that down in my book that I have. I write down a lot of recipes. Another thing that you can do, let's see, what did I have on here? Yeah. This one's one of my favorites. I've got these in the description as well. You can make your own homemade Febreeze body powder and baby lotion. Let's see, where is here is the Febreeze.
Also to the that spray, Dawn
Spray. What?
The dish spray that we use that you can make your own instead of buying the watered down version.
Oh yeah, you can find homemade power wash. The Dawn power wash. You can find that easily on YouTube. But the homemade Febreeze is, you just get a spray bottle, you get 1/4 of a cup of those laundry crystals or beads, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda and warm water to fill the bottle. And you put all the ingredients in the bottle with the warm water, and you shake it until the crystals have melted. And you shake it before each use, and you use it just like you would Febreeze. And the good thing about that is all those crystals, they come in many different scents. And using something like that, yeah, they got some chemicals in them. But if you know of anything else that you can use besides those crystals, please let me know, because I know that they're full of chemicals.
Here's something real quick to go back to that Lone Star tick.
Oh, okay.
Widely distributed in the Northeast, South, and Midwest. CDC map showing where Lone Star ticks live. Now, this is where they lived. I don't know about being distributed, but you see that it is a very
They're all over the Southeast.
I don't know.
I see it. I can see it.
I'm waiting for... Is it...
I see it.
Okay.
They're all over the Southeast. And I don't know why. But anyway, That's how that is. Another thing that I have in the description, let's see, where'd I put it? The body powder. Now, these ingredients you can get on Amazon. The body powder consists of 1 part of each ingredient: arrowroot powder and Indian healing clay. You can get those on Amazon. They're not that expensive. And depending on how strong you want the smell, you can use 25 to 50 drops of any essential oil fragrance of your choice. And you mix it well, store it in an airtight container, and there you go. It's that simple. And you're not paying an arm and a leg for body powder. So, and another one that I have is for anyone that has a baby, you can make your own baby lotion. and not put all those harsh chemicals on your baby's skin. All you need is 1 cup of coconut oil and lavender essential oil fragrance. Mix them together and use it like you would regular lotion. It's that simple to make your own pretty much anything.
Well, and you're controlling the ingredients
Exactly.
when you do that.
Exactly.
So that's the biggest part about that.
And all of those recipes that I just said, they're all in the description. Like I said, I'm starting to get good at utilizing the description box the way that it should be utilized. So I'm getting better. What else have you got, Dave?
Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Hit the wrong button. So let's see here. Touchy subject in certain ways.
Bring it on.
You need to be ready to defend yourself or others. There has been multiple things I've been seeing in the news, and some of them in Denmark. In the past couple of weeks, there was one in Atlanta about being stabbings. Mm-hmm. So I don't know the full story. I just know that there was one of them downtown Atlanta on a MARTA bus or train. I believe it was train. That guy walks up and just stabs a lady in the neck. And as
like that one in, where was that, New York?
No, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then as she's laying on the ground, he stabs her 18 more times.
In public.
In public, on the train.
Nobody did nothing.
So I don't know how many people were there. I don't know the circumstances. I just know that that's what happened. The dude was, of course, a repeat offender. So you need to be vigilant and keep your sense about you. You need to be preparing yourself.
Extremely situationally aware.
Yes.
And we talked about this a couple of shows ago, head on a swivel.
You need to be preparing yourself.
And it does not matter what your age is. It does not matter how healthy you are. It doesn't matter,
No. So, and I know that we went off on a little series of EDC and things like that, but it is important for you to be ready. Mm-hmm. I would hate to know that anyone I know. I don't want it to happen to anyone, but still the fact of it is I left it at home, or I left it in the vehicle. I didn't have it with me when you need to do something.
What are you talking about?
Having protection with you.
Okay, that being either a gun or a knife or the.
Well, I will tell you
the monkey fist
that
I have.
Personally, I will 100% tell you that a knife fight is not the way to go.
Nobody really wins it.
No. There is no winner. Everyone's a loser. I'm not trained for that. I don't do that, and I don't want to get anywhere near anybody with a knife. Mm-mm. I've been cut before quite a few times by my own self or material. I do construction work, so it sucks. And no, I'm not doing that. So you can carry a firearm with you, and I don't care if you go, from the little bitty guys to something a little bit larger, or to a full size. That is up to you. I think everyone should be carrying something with them. No matter what it is. I mean, even these little bitty guys, everyone goes, "Oh, that's a little baby." Well, it does poke holes, and but you need to be planning on carrying something, figure out how to carry it. You need to be aware of your surroundings. Yeah, thank you, Chad.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Ronnie, same thing. Stay off your phone. Watch your back. You can't see anyone coming towards you if your head's down. That's 100% right. Teen takeover situations, that's a real
That's
thing.
been happening a lot.
You know,
I don't know what's going on with these kids, but
well, so the thing about it is you don't know when it's going to take place. All of a sudden, you're out and about with your family, and then, hey, wow, there's 300 people walking up, type thing. You can find yourself in a bad situation quickly.
oh yeah.
So, I don't want to keep going with all the EDC stuff. I kind of burned that out a little bit, But the thing about it is it is very, very important because, we want everyone to be safe. We want everyone to be, go home. Figure out what you want to carry, then figure out how to carry it. That needs to be the order. Figure out what you're going to carry and then how you're going to carry it. Don't buy a bag and then try and fit a gun into that. You want to get comfortable with a gun and then go, okay, now I like this one best. I want to carry this one. Don't compromise. Make sure you're doing some training with this, even if it's, and I don't like indoor shooting ranges, but there's reasons there. But if that's all you've got, that's all you've got. Go to the range. If you don't know training, if you don't have any training, ask the range. A lot of times they have training classes, and some of them are even free for women. So look at that. And I know a couple of them have female teachers, instructors. So that would help too, having a female instruct a female class, instead of having some butch dude up there going, you need a 12 gauge, type thing. But no, seriously, you need to consider these things. I've said it before for the longest time that you are your own first responder, and that's the truth. So I've been reading a lot of stories recently, and it's heartbreaking of just, what's going on. So,
Yes,
train, and when you
train.
get tired, train harder. That's exactly right, Ronnie.
The saying goes from Keith. The saying goes, the 380 in my pocket is more effective than the 40 cal in your bedside table. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Very true.
No, 100%.
We got a smart audience, I swear.
Well, and that's 100% right. You want to be able to carry something with you, and you need to make sure what you're carrying you can use. We may do something on firearms here sometime soon. But I think a lot of people get the gist of it.
Well, and it's like for me, and I've said it before, but I've had the hardest time trying to find the proper holster for me, and I'm just at a standstill with it. So I think we said this once before, talking about getting that bag, and it literally just it's like a kind of like a chest rig, but it just pops open so fast, and the gun has extremely, quick access. I just haven't bought it yet.
Well, I think that's going to be our purchase for tonight. If we do, it will be here tomorrow. I've already looked it up.
Yeah.
It's a very, very.
I think we showed it on one of our previous videos.
We did. If anyone's interested in it, it's made by a company called Savior, and it's on. Let's see here. Let me pull this up really quick.
Well, tell me, and I will.
Savior.
Wait a minute. Say it again.
Savior. Savior equipment. It's called the Obscura.
Equipment. Hold on. Let me pull it up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's listening to us, so it should pop up quickly.
Of course.
You can't make this up, guys. You know.
Let me.
So they have two
let me
different sizes.
Show it to the audience here. I'm just gonna not name it.
They have a small 3-liter and a medium 5-liter. I would say.
Okay. I just pulled up the first one because it's you said Obscura, so here it is. Yeah, it's only $90, which you might think is expensive just for me to carry my wallet in or whatever. But it has a certain function, because it's supposed to carry a pistol. So $90 is not a bad price. And this is Scheels.com. SCHEELS.com.
Yeah. Well,
but didn't you say we could get it on Amazon?
they do have it on Amazon, and that is the 3-liter. You want the 5-liter.
Okay. Well, let me find it on Amazon. Hold on.
And they have black, gray, red, and they call it indigo, but it's like Barney purple.
No, thank you. I am not doing purple. Let me find it on Amazon, guys. Hold on just a second here, because they probably got a better price on it.
Actually, no. There's a $119 on Amazon.
Oh, is it? Okay.
But no, seriously.
Well, but Scheels will probably charge you for shipping.
They will. So
either way, it's a few dollars difference. Not a big deal. But if you have a Prime membership at Amazon, it's free shipping. More than likely.
So the cool part about this one is you would be able to take your inside the waistband holster and slide it inside this. So if you got to a place where you're like, okay, I'm just going to take my holster out and put it in my waistband, or I'm going to carry it in there. Another thing is it completely secures the firearm, covers the trigger guard, so it's not rattling around in your bag or loose or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And that way you do have, a lot of these Kydex holsters have, like a snap-in, feature to them. So it's got a little bit of retention on it. So
okay, here it is on Amazon.
Okay, cool.
Guys, let's see.
And I will tell you, I've got a couple of Savior products, and they are very well built. Even though I know they're made overseas, well, everything is, but the stitching is absolutely phenomenal on their gear.
Yeah.
Click on one of those.
All right. Let's see. This one is what'd you say, 5-liter?
No, just click on one of those.
It
gives you a choice to choose.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
And then it'll give you.
This is a medium 5-liter.
Yes. So then you can scroll left or right on the images, and it'll show where the handgun is actually inside the bag.
Okay, that's where all your other stuff goes. Let's see. And there she is. Ta-da.
So it's very cool. It's look up the Obscura on YouTube. There's some videos of some people using them and how you're supposed to deploy your firearm. It's a very cool setup. You can see there it's got your own holster retained inside that. So but it gives you just straight access to that.
Right. That's very cool.
And you can actually, so you're going to a place where it's got like 3 different ways. You can have a tab sticking out the top to where you can reach and grab that handle and rip it forward. Or you can take and unhook that handle and have it to where you yourself would have to grab the zipper tabs and unzip it to do it. If you are in a very crowded area and you have a concern about someone grabbing the front of the bag and pulling on it, you can actually make it a little more secure. It's got like 3 different retention levels, if you will. So look it up on YouTube. It's very cool. we will be ordering that tonight.
I know. We just
In Barney Purple.
No, we're not. No, we're not looking. Getting purple.
But again, you need to be thinking about security. That you do. I understand that we all carry these cool guy knives and stuff like that. But that is a half measure in my opinion. If I'm having to pull my pocket knife out, I did not do my job and have a firearm with me. I mean, that's just all there is to it. Anyway, moving on from that, I just know that that's a really hot item in my head right now because of what's happening in the news with these stabbings. And I know some of them are happening overseas. I get that. But it still doesn't change the fact that you need to be ready.
Yeah, pretty much for anything.
And also, too, I'm not telling you to get involved if something was to take place.
No.
But I will tell you, in my own way, you need to be a good human.
Mm-hmm.
And, even in the Bible, it tells you you're supposed to be your brother's keeper.
Mm-hmm.
Take it where you need to with that. So don't, well, David told me to do this. No.
Well, I mean,
so
I'm not going to sit there and for example, watch an elderly person get punched in the face by a teenager. That teenager's going down.
But now here's the thing, though. You've got to be able to handle that situation so you're not becoming a liability yourself. I mean, that's straight up. If you can't do anything, then don't get involved. You can step back and take pictures and call 911 and have information. But if you're going to just be in the way, are you sure you can?
Well, it depends on the situation.
I know.
It depends on the situation.
But like I said, you need to put yourself in a situation when you are an asset, not a liability. And just think about it in that aspect. Can you do something? Sure, you can go over there. You can bite, kick, scratch, and whatever to get the guy from stopping him doing whatever he's doing. Are you going to be able to stop that fight? No, you just turn the fight to you. Now, can you defend yourself? So think about that. It's something that you need to come to grasps with personally for yourself. Only you can make that decision.
Well, in whatever situation it is, 9 times out of 10, you're only going to have literally a split second to assess the situation and make a decision.
Well,
at the same time, probably.
No, 100%. And I know the majority of the people we know, I pretty much know the answer. Everyone's like fingers on keyboard going, I'll tell you what I would do. But no, that's one of those, we all just know. We know who you are.
You come up with all kinds of scenarios in your mind, but it's never going to go that way.
No, it's not. But I want to be prepared for as many scenarios as I can. And I will be straight up honest. There is no substitute for having a actual self-defense tool with you and knowing how to use it. And yes, these are all empty.
They're empty.
I'm waiting for someone to go, oh my God.
Well, get over it.
Yeah.
They're empty.
Yeah. So, but no, that's pretty much where it is with that. Just y'all need to be getting ready, getting prepared, and I'm not saying technically yes, there is always a potential of imminent threat every time you step out of your house, and depending upon where you live, it could even be at your doorstep. Like Chad said here, you need to think about. Training how to clear your own home, being able to maneuver around your house in the dark with and without a flashlight. Have a quick evacuation plan. But here's something he mentions. Also, think about a meetup location to meet outside the home. Firestorm, tornado, home invasion, whatever. Okay, say you had the group of dudes kick in the front door and, they caught everybody by surprise.
That gives me an idea, but go ahead.
Well, you were all able to get out of the house. Now, where are you going to meet? Well, let's meet at the, whatever. This corner of the property that's away from the house and it's not in view. Don't say mailbox because the good chance the bad guys are going to drive right by the mailbox.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Ronnie, evaluate your surroundings before making a decision. You are blind and so are they. In a home defense situation, especially if you hit them with a really bright light. Anyway, do your own homework. Find out what works best for you. I'm not telling you because I showed you 3 Glocks that you need to buy a Glock. I'm just telling you to buy a tool, learn how to use that tool, be proficient in it, and carry it. That's all there is to it. I don't care what name brand it is. I honestly don't care. I'd take that back. Don't buy the self-firing SIG 320s, the self-detonating handguns. I would stay away from the SIGs. So, the newer ones. Anyway.
Well, that, when you were talking, that was giving me an idea. I thought, it would kind of be handy if we would give one of our radios over here to the neighbors. And that way, we wouldn't have to worry about, sending a text message, worrying whether it's going to go through or not, or this, that, and the other. Because, just using the radios on Simplex, if they needed anything, all they'd have to do is pick up the radio, and it'd be an, instant communication.
Well, if there's a storm and the cell phone towers are down, then absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we need to get together with them and have a discussion about that, because I think that would be very handy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know we're on YouTube only right now, and we don't talk much about radios, but we are still very deep into the radio networks, and we've, as soon as time allows, we got some cool stuff.
But we're still going to be putting the tower up and all of that. But The problem that we've had is, of course, Dave's schedule, because he's been working out of town.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
So it does happen, and then once that
apparently,
takes place,
according to your shirt, you don't have time for putting up tower.
Yeah, no kidding. There's I don't know how much you can see, but
you'd have to stand up slightly.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
But yeah, once that takes place, we'll break the news and let everybody know what's going on. There's going to be some cool stuff we've got in the works. I just gotta have time.
Yeah.
You
kind of need to be here.
So.
We need to have a talk with your boss.
Yeah, right. Something I picked up recently, and is a new addition to my everyday carry bag, is a Vortex Solo RT. It is a let me get my arm around the mic here. It is a very cool monocular. It is a 8x36. It has a range-finding reticle inside it, but also has this very cool belt clip, pocket clip, fits Molly. This thing is very clear. It's got 2 focus knobs. One's to focus the reticle inside it. The other one is to focus the image. It has a range-finding reticle inside it, and it is MRAD. So look at that. They're not that expensive, and As you can kind of see, they're, fairly compact. Something you can carry around with you if you need to observe something from a distance or be nosy. So,
don't be nosy.
well, so
There's some
actually,
advice that Dave gives that you really don't need to listen to.
sometimes I'm Dave. No, in all honesty, with my travels, I see some stuff out there that's kind of cool, and I want to get a better look at it. So that's why I picked something like that up. I'm also a gear nerd, so I do stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's just the way it rolls. So let's see here.
What else do we have?
Well, along with the evacuation plans and things like that, having a survival plan is one of the things that I think most of our people that we know talk about and have going on. Even if you've started one before, how long has it been since you've updated that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like a long time ago, I had posted, it's still up, I haven't taken it down, but I posted a video about the 52-week prep plan. Mm-hmm. So if you're just getting started or you want to know how to get started or whatever, and it's just general information, everything can be changed to, your liking or, what you want to prep for. But I think it's a good guide, for beginners.
Yeah, and that creating that survival plan, set clear goals. Stockpile for 3 months of food and water. Boom. Okay, I've got 3 months now. Now I'm gonna make 3 more months. Now I'm gonna make 3 more months. So set your goals, and involve the entire family. One of the things I got in my notes here, water is the most. Right here it says water is more critical than food. You can survive without it. You can survive without it for days, but without food for weeks.
Yeah, water. It's after 3 days you start really going downhill.
So, and to be quite honest, even if you, I know there's droughts, but there's other ways to source water. You can actually bag plants to catch condensation off of it. You can put a plastic in a teepee form across the grass, and as the dew moisture rises and collects on the plastic, it will roll down to containers at the corners. There's ways to get water. Food, my thing is food. Sure, I can go out here and shoot enough squirrels to make a meal out of.
Well, you can't. Aren't you not supposed to shoot them in the warm weather?
You're not. Yeah, you're not supposed to eat them. Because it's got some parasites in them until the first frost. But if you're in a situation where you're having to actually go and take wild game for food, that means your neighbors are too. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just a fact. Mm-hmm. I'll just shoot a deer. Well, if you've got to the point where you're having to take wild game for food, everyone else is in the same boat.
Everyone else is going to do the same thing. Sure, a lot of people are going to, raid grocery stores or whatever, but that's not going to last too long.
Oh, we already seen what people will do in snowstorms, so.
Yeah, or pandemics.
Yeah, so, do that, build a prepper inventory, make a list of all your current survival gear, food, medicine, and decide what to add. So here's where I've been cleaning out a lot of stuff. I've got stuff scattered everywhere. I'm trying to put, like all my fire starters together, my navigation gear together. I'm trying to really consolidate some stuff down instead of having, all these totes filled of stuff. Well, I'm also breaking down a lot of the little survival bags that I have built over the years because I'm finding out that we've been doing this for a very long time, well over a decade, that some of those items are starting to deteriorate. Mm-hmm. The purification tablets that was in the full packets by MSR, I believe. Some of those full packets have gotten holes in them. The tablets are just gone. They're disintegrated. Mm.
Yeah, those need replacing.
Yeah, battery storage. They're gone. I've thrown away. I've told y'all I've thrown away so many batteries recently. Mm-hmm. It is wow, a lot of batteries. But that's because you're buying in bulk and you're storing them. You don't have things that you would be able to use these 40 pack of AA batteries quickly. If it comes, oh well, they expire in a year. Well, I'm not going to use 40 batteries in a year. No. But I'm also switching all my stuff over to rechargeable batteries. A lot of my flashlights now I'm upgrading to O lights, and the O lights usually have an internal battery, and then I'm able to charge those off of my EcoFlow or Jackery or solar panels. So consider that. But the first aid stuff I've got, it's falling apart. The Band-Aids, all the adhesives are gone. Mm-hmm. The alcohol swab wipes, they're dried out. Hydroperoxide is now no longer
water.
Yeah, it's just water now. So those are things that needed to be updated quite often. So go through your gear, go through your stuff. Your lighters that are stored, even in an airtight container, I have found out that the flints are disintegrating. They just oxidize, Yeah. So I've got brand new lighters with no spark.
Yeah.
Sure, I can make other ways to make them work, but still the thing about it is those were my kits, and I had some things that I had built as handouts. If we had guests over and the situation arises, here, take this bag. It's got 3 days worth of supplies in it. Here you go. So just something to think about.
Alrighty.
What'd you have next?
I'm out of ideas.
Out of ideas. Well,
I mean, it's just one of those things where, us being preppers, and we could pretty much find things to talk about all night long.
Well, and it also never fails that every time we're okay, we're done. Everybody have a good night. Click, turn off YouTube. Oh man, I forgot to mention.
That. Well, this time we didn't have a topic, so it doesn't really matter.
No, we didn't. We've been rabbit holing for quite a while, and we just wanted to bring up a few things for everyone else's knowledge, and kind of bring a little bit of awareness of what's going on. Mm-hmm. But yes. Think about your supplies. Make sure you're going through that. Get you an inventory, get a good inventory going. Think about security. You need to take that seriously, and again, that's another thing you need to get your family involved into.
Yes. Definitely. It doesn't. You can still, be a prepper if your spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever is not into it. You can still do it, but it just makes it so much easier, and it does make it more fun when both of you are on the same page.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That has been an absolute blessing that me and Lisa are in this together, and not a one-sided story here, to where, well, I can't believe you're doing this, or why are you doing that? It's taking up so much room, and blah, 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 blah. Instead, we get to bounce things back and forth going, well, actually, So it's very beneficial. So, but yeah, everybody, check out your plans. If you haven't updated what you've got, update that soon. And, let's see here. Make sure y'all are hitting that, subscribe button.
Yeah, that always helps.
Yeah. Gotta know when, we are going live. So do that, and it will help you and us out. Hit that thumbs up, and then that little bell notification. That way you can find out when we are going on the air.
All right. Is that all we got?
I think that's all we've got.
Okay.
There's always more, but I think that's all for tonight.
Yeah. We'll call it a night, and
Storage for food if your house gets destroyed by a tornado. Plastic septic tank. The big ones can store a lot of food away from the house.
Okay.
So Ronnie, I actually seen that recently. It's funny you mentioned that, and I've been seriously thinking about something. Maybe not all your stuff, but something to get you by in case something catastrophic happens, and
kind of like a root cellar.
So, yes, the septic tanks they're very large. They have some other containers you can put underground, in case Mother Nature decides to delete your house. You wouldn't have nothing. You would have something. So yeah, that's that.
That's a good idea. I like
It
that
is.
idea.
So
All right. That's about all we got.
I
for
think
tonight.
so.
All righty. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us in the chat. Thank you for everybody who is watching. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. And as always, don't forget to invest in precious metals, brass and lead. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Good night, everyone, and stay tuned. We may be having some guest speakers on soon.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So we'll see
Alrighty.
what's going up next. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.